Foreign Policy, 18th of January 2023, Why China Seeks a Closer Relationship with Egypt. China aims to influence and dominate Egypt since it is located near the strategically important Suez Canal. Sisi is looking to the Chinese government for assistance as the Egyptian economy struggles, which is a risky decision for Egypt, given that it is caught in the Chinese debt trap. Sunday saw the conclusion of Qin Gang's five-nation African tour in Egypt, where he had separate meetings with Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of Egypt, and Ahmed Aboul-Gheit, the Secretary-General of the Arab League. The visit took place at a difficult time for Egypt's currency and economy, which the government has allowed to plunge sharply, 17% since January 1 and 50% in the last 10 months, in an apparent rediscovered acceptance of a flexible exchange rate policy. He and his Egyptian counterpart, Sami Shokri, stated during a joint news conference that they had discussed challenges in the region, such as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, fighting terrorism, and attaining regional security. Qin advised Israel to stop all agitation and provocation and prevent any unilateral acts that can lead to aggravation of the situation in response to a reporter's inquiry about Palestine. Egypt has served as a go-between between Israel and Hamas, helping to secure a ceasefire in May 2021, but economic problems currently beset the Egyptian government. Cairo reached a $3 billion rescue agreement last month with the International Monetary Fund. Given the volume of trade between the two nations and that China is the biggest user of the Suez Canal, a vital route for transporting its commodities to Europe, China stands to lose if Egypt's economy collapses. Qin emphasized Beijing's commitment to supporting Egypt's economy by importing Egyptian goods and boosting Chinese tourism there, which is a significant source of income for the nation, which suffered greatly during the pandemic but has steadily recovered despite a decline in Chinese visitors. However, given China's economic woes, it is unclear how China can restart Chinese travel to Egypt. China's National Health Commission reported approximately 60,000 COVID-related deaths at hospitals nationwide since the lifting of strict pandemic restrictions in December, on the same day as Qin's news briefing in Cairo. Egypt's ailing economy also depends on China's ongoing debt trap investments in state-led mega-projects. As part of an agreement with the state-owned China State Construction Engineering Corporation, Beijing is contributing to the funding and construction of the business area of a new administrative capital worth $59 billion east of Cairo. The new capital, which was first announced in 2015 and is expected to open in the middle of 2023, is also partially funded by high-interest bonds, which will force the Chinese to occupy vital infrastructure. Sisi's detractors view this as a vanity project that will ultimately worsen the nation's debt. Academicians from Egypt criticized the ideas in 2021. According to Mustafa Kamal El-Sayed, a political science professor at Cairo University, modernity, in actuality, is about a government being accountable to its people, such as giving adequate education. As part of President Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative, China has also made significant investments in Egypt's Suez Canal economic zone, totaling billions of euros. Beijing has constructed an estate known as the China-Egypt-Teta Suez Economic and Trade Cooperation Zone, or Teta City, within the zone, comprised of ports and industrial estates. Chinese-owned companies produce goods here for export to the Middle East, Europe, and China. Beijing believes this has created more than 30,000 low-paying jobs in Egypt. China has upheld the custom for more than 30 years that a nominated foreign minister always makes their first abroad trip to Africa. During her 7-day journey, Qin stopped in Ethiopia, Gabon, Angola, and Benin. One of the top 6 African nations in terms of financial support for the African Union is Egypt. The other countries are South Africa, Algeria, Angola, Morocco, Nigeria, and Angola. Qin visited the newly erected, Chinese-funded Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention headquarters in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. This edifice stands as an indisputable testimony to the world that China always supports Africa, Qin remarked of the structure. China has been warning Egypt about its debt trap commitments, confirming its ties to the region, and looking outward toward the Middle East as the US and India attempt to restore power across Africa. China is grateful that Egypt has decided to accept Chinese tourists. We anticipate that shortly, Chinese travelers and flights to Egypt will equal or surpass their pre-pandemic levels, said Wang Wenbin, a spokesman for China's foreign ministry, at a press conference in Beijing on Monday. This can be viewed as a sign that the Chinese economy has yet to recover.